Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name's Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. As there's been some Champions League games, we can review those games quickly. So we'll go for the two British teams that were involved today. So firstly, Man City faced Club Brugge away. An emphatic win, as you can see by the scoreline, 5-1. I didn't actually watch the game as it was an earlier kickoff, but nevertheless, a great win for Man City. Goals from Cancelo, Mahrez, 2 goals, and Kyle Walker, and a debut goal for Cole Palmer as well. So fantastic for Man City. I think they probably wanted a more of a positive result considering their loss against PSG in the last match day of the Champions League. So back to winning ways. I'm sure they'll be fine in terms of qualifying for the next round. But nevertheless, a good win for Man City there. Now, this is the game that I did watch, obviously, being a Liverpool fan. Very, very fiery encounter between two sides that have played in the last few years. The last time we played, it didn't go to Liverpool's way, but nevertheless, this game just had everything that you can think of, all piled into one big game. It started off quite aggressive. Please 1 second. Yep, so the first goal actually was Mo Salah. Fantastic finish from him. Slight deflection, but nevertheless, we'll take that on board. And then Naby Keita scoring a fantastic volley. But unfortunately, he was substituted at half-time due to sort of lack of concentration as his sort of defensive positioning for the 2 goals that Atletico scored in a succession of 15 minutes, I believe. He was at fault, I guess. But the first goal that they scored, a bit debatable in terms of if it should have been allowed or not. As I feel like Matty was close to the line, but wasn't aware of sort of his surroundings and maybe thought he was obstructing the goalkeeper as well. So I think good finish as well. Good pass, shot pass by Koke, and then Griezmann finishing from pretty much a few yards away. And then the second goal, for me, was a great first touch from Griezmann and a nice finish, bottom corner. So 2-2. I'll be honest, slightly disappointed with that. I was feeling disappointed at that at half-time, as I feel like we were in control before the first goal happened. I feel like we sort of lost a bit of focus and our organisation defence wasn't that great. So, but Klopp made some changes, so brought on Fabinho onto the pitch, and that definitely helped. But I feel like João Felix and Griezmann were able to exploit between the lines, and I feel like because we didn't have a dominant sort of defensive midfielder holding that sort of position, it probably needed at that stage, to be honest with you. So into the second half, well, a lot happened, to be honest with you. I'm trying to kind of get my head around it. It was just all sorts of fouls here, incidents here and there, a lot of pressure from Atletico Madrid on towards the referee to give every single challenge from a Liverpool player a red card. And the red card that was given to Griezmann for me was correct. I know the commentators were quite adamant in terms of saying that, he pretty much was looking at the ball and all of that stuff. Doesn't mean nothing to me. You have to look at the outcome, what happened, kicked him right in the face, which could have led to a very serious injury to Firmino. So, for me, correct decision. The foul itself for the penalty, it's quite point blank, to be fair. He pretty much threw him to the floor. No arguments there, and great penalty taken by Salah. I think a lot of fans probably take it for granted in terms of how much pressure it is to take a penalty in that sort of hostile environment. And for me, he did fantastic. So great, nicely slotted penalty against Oblak, who tried to distract him beforehand, but it didn't work. And Atletico were actually awarded a penalty at the time that was reviewed by VAR, and the referee actually had to go to the monitor and pretty much disallow the goal. Again, not to sound like I'm being biased because it's for Liverpool, but I do feel like that was the correct decision based on that. Gimenez was pretty much diving, and it was quite obvious in terms of it was a bit more of a theatrical reaction. I feel like if he had dropped on the floor less convincingly, he may have got that penalty. But I feel like with the referee viewing it and on the monitor, it was quite obvious that he felt like there wasn't enough contact for that penalty to be given. So brave decision from a referee where the environment was pretty hostile and he was pretty much in front of the Atletico fans as well. But credit to the referee, I think he definitely did well in terms of performing his duties there. Overall, fantastic win for Liverpool. I believe Porto won the other fixtures, so that means that Liverpool only need 1 point in their next fixture and they can qualify. So yeah, great times for Liverpool. I believe we've been winning 21 consecutive games so far this season, so you can tell our form is back to normal. We're playing with a lot more confidence. People wrote us off in the beginning, which is fine. I guess Liverpool do kind of like that underdog sort of tag, and we'll take that all day long. So yeah, happy with the result. I'm just hoping that if we do qualify, that Klopp doesn't play uh, Jota or like important players in fixtures that are pretty much meaningless at the time, because I do feel like that did cost us last year when Jota played against Midtjylland, I believe it was, and got injured for 3 months. So yeah, overall fantastic result. Really happy, um, especially in terms of how the weekend went for Liverpool in the Premier League, which we can go into smoothly. So Liverpool versus Watford. So I did a match review. I was like confident about Liverpool winning, but the way we performed, we just blew Watford away. To be fair, what a result and what a game by Mo Salah. He was simply breathtaking again in this fixture. The first goal itself, the assist from Salah, was just sublime. Lovely pass with the outside of his foot and clinical finish by Mane, who for me slowly getting back to his best. So it's great to see. I've always sort of been a great support of his and will continue to be, as I feel like he's a fantastic player. Just because he's had a dip in form or a below standards or below average season last year doesn't mean that he's no longer the player that we all know he is. So in terms of numbers, he's getting all the goals. A good option, I guess, if you're playing FPL as well. He's slowly getting back in terms of scoring figures, but assists as well at the same time. So, and also the return of Bobby Firmino, who I wanted to start this fixture, as I felt like because he wasn't on international duty, he would have looked a bit more fresh, and it would have just brought a different energy to the team. And he did that in this fixture. He pretty much played like his shirt number, so played like a traditional number 9, scoring tap-ins, but showing a striker's instinct in terms of his movement around the box. So long may it continue. I know, well, I'm a big fan of Firmino, so I know as Liverpool fans, we may say that, oh, he needs to score more goals, but if you watch him week in, week out, you know what his responsibilities are for the team is to press from the front. So he's more than a striker for us. He's sort of the pivotal point in terms of how we play and how we attack. So, but hopefully he can score more consecutive games this season. As for me, he's just a fantastic player and running off with a fantastic hat trick, which was fully deserved. But let's go straight to the point. What a goal! And the best moment of the game was Mo Salah's spectacular finish. Pretty much identical to how he scored against Man City. So Liverpool fans, let me know what's your favorite goal. Is it the Man City one or is it the Watford one? I'll do a poll on Twitter and get your thoughts as well. As I'll probably go with the Watford one slightly, but I love both for the goals. To be fair, for me, he's just simply the best player in world football right now, hands down. if you don't agree with me, you can argue amongst yourselves because I don't need to make a case. You just have to see his performances. If you're sort of a person that relies on stats, look at the stats as well. It's all written in paper. So, as I say, the numbers don't lie. So for me, it's just been out of this world, and sort of reminds me of his first season when he joined Liverpool, where everything he touched turned into gold, and I can see that sort of resemblance with this season as well. So we've got a big game ahead this week against our rivals, Manchester United, who are not having the best of times. So I can speak about them a little bit now as well. So Leicester City versus Manchester United. Always a tough fixture. City are a fantastic team, as we all know, with great quality. They're strengthened really well this summer. And to be honest, their quality really showed during this fixture. But having said that, I think we have to be honest. A terrible performance from the United defense. They were just abysmal. Maguire I don't know where his head at was. To be honest with you, he looked pretty lost throughout the whole game. I'm not sure he was aware of his positioning for many of the goals. I think the first goal as well, he was at fault. Um, so fantastic goal from Tielemans. Lofted it over the keeper. A player who doesn't score many goals, I feel like he should score more if you consider how much quality he has. But the first goal itself actually was Greenwood. Great left footed finish. We had Vardy on the score sheet. Soyuncu scoring from a set piece. And one of their new signings, Daka, scoring as well, tapping, which was poor marking from Maguire again for that final goal of the game. Rashford made his return, scored a good one-on-one goal there. So he'll be important in terms of the next few fixtures going forward. I do feel like he's been missed. His pace on the wings. For me, Martial just doesn't do it. To be honest, I speak to United fans and they still have a lot of faith in Martial. God knows why. For me, he's just an average player. He hasn't progressed whatsoever since he joined the club. I feel like you've got better players in Sancho and Rashford who should be given more chances, and Greenwood as well, to start more games. But overall, De Gea made some good saves, but he shouldn't be making so many saves. Leicester were just dominant throughout. Obviously, they've got a Champions League fixture tomorrow, so hopefully that will sort of change their momentum going into the big game against Liverpool. But I just say Liverpool just look simply unstoppable right now. So it will be an interesting encounter this Sunday. Next fixture, we've got Man City versus Burnley. I predicted a pretty much a thrashing for Burnley there, but they managed to survive a thrashing there. Bernardo Silva had a decent performance, pretty much involved in scored the first goal, but also involved in the second goal in terms of the build-up. Kevin De Bruyne back to scoring ways, coming back from injury. So overall, fantastic performance from Man City. Another win, which I'm sure will help them in their quest for climbing up the league. Other fixture, Brentford versus Chelsea. So as I mentioned previously, a tough place to go to Brentford to get a point. I believe I did predict this to be a 1-0 result for Chelsea. They were I think it was a good game. I think Brentford were a bit unlucky not to get a draw out of it. But Mendy was fantastic throughout this game, made some great saves. Chilwell was the guy who scored the goal for Chelsea, but I think Brentford fans should be pleased in terms of how they performed. They've been a breath of fresh air since they joined the league this season. So no shame in sort of losing that fixture there. Feel like they performed well, and Chelsea have got a point. 3 points. Probably didn't play their best, but I guess in the title race you kind of have to win ugly at times as well. So a great win for Chelsea there. Newcastle versus Tottenham. So it started off fantastically for Newcastle, where Callum Wilson scored the opening goal within the first 10 minutes, I believe it was. As you can see, St James's Park was jumping, the fans were jubilant. Um, the new owners were hugging each other and everything, so it was a good moment for the Newcastle supporters and owners there. But as the game went on, things changed, unfortunately, for Newcastle. Harry Kane um, was able to break his duck with a nice sort of lofted goal over the keeper's head, and also gave an assist for Son for his goal. And Dominic scored a fantastic goal where he lashed onto the ball top corner. Fantastic, no backlip whatsoever. So a great goal from him. I feel like he is a player that has so much ability. I feel like he should be doing that a bit more. And should be dominating games due to his sort of stature. But also, I feel like he can be a very dominant player and has great passing ability, but hasn't really shown enough of it, in my opinion, for Tottenham. So we'll see how the season goes on. But just a quick note on Reguilon, who did fantastically in terms of pointing out that there was a fan who needed attention there. And thankfully, the fan was in a stable condition. So everyone involved, I think, we love our football, but it's important to sort of stop at a moment where someone's in need of help. And I feel like the players reacted really well. The referee as well made sure the players were on the sideline so the fan could have his space and get his treatment done. And he was stabilized. I was able to go to hospital. So credit to Reguilon, and I believe Eric Dyer as well, who brought that attention to the referee. So credit to those guys there. But back to the game. Mentioned Eric Dyer scored an own goal at the end, which probably didn't help him in terms of his overall performance for the team. But it's a win for Tottenham. Not a clean sheet, but at the end of the day, I feel like a win's a win for them. I think Spurs fans still pretty much undecided in terms of how they feel about their manager right now. For me, he'll still be the manager until the end of the season. I don't feel like that he would get dismissed unless things really, turn bad. But you need to give a new manager time. He's still trying to figure out his first 11, as I feel like he doesn't quite know what his best 11 is. Still getting used to the players and trying to implement different tactics that the players probably haven't played under the previous managers before. So long season ahead for Tottenham, but a win's a win. So credit to Spurs there. And on to their North London rivals, Arsenal. So this was the Monday night match yesterday. Crystal Palace, for me, have been really impressive this season under Vieira. Played some good football. Quite a bit of a change. I think that's probably due down to personnel now, because they had a lot of players previously who were experienced heads, so experienced players in the Premier League, but aging as well at the same time. Now they've got a team with fresh blood, young players. I like Anderson in the back. You've got Mitchell as well, who's a good left back, who bombs forward, does really well. Olise, who's a young talent, made an appearance as well, did really well. So you've got great young talent there. Gallagher as well, who's on loan from Chelsea. Fantastic player. I was really impressed with him last season, actually, for West Brom. So when West Ham got him on, I thought that's a good signing there. Obviously, you've got Zaha there as well. So you've got good blend of youth as well as good experienced players. Whereas previously, I feel like the whole team was just experienced heads. So you kind of just play a certain type of level of football where it's a bit more cautious and a bit more predictable. Whereas this one, you've got players with a bit more flair, pace, a bit of guile about them as well. So yeah, different Tottenham. Different Crystal Palace right now. So Palace fans should definitely be excited in terms of their season ahead. But back to the game. Aubameyang opened the scoreline there. Then you had Benteke who scored a fantastic goal, coming from the left wing, cutting in inside very nicely and slotted the bottom corner. So I feel like you'll probably see a bit more goals from Benteke, considering they've got a new signing in Edouard, who's knocking on the door to be starting every week. So speaking of Edouard as well, he scored a fantastic goal, lashing onto the ball, hitting the crossbar. went in as well nicely. So at that stage, you're thinking Palace have got the win there. It's only a matter of time. And I believe it was like the 96th, 98th minute. It was like pretty much quite like last second of the game. And Lacazette was able to clinch the finisher. And you could see the distraught of Patrick Vieira on the sidelines, just with his head down, just disappointed at what had happened. So, good point for Arsenal, I would say. I think it's drop points for Crystal Palace, and it should have been a win for them. But on paper, you get a point against Arsenal, I guess it's good. But if you watch the game, you'd know that missed opportunity there. But nevertheless, I feel like Palace are doing well this season. So let's see how it goes with this season. So as you know, I like to present my team of the week here, so there won't be huge surprises with my lineup. So let me quickly put it up on our screen for you guys to view. So here we go. So here is my team of the week. So in goal, I've got Mendy, who for me was fantastic, made several good saves against Brentford. And for me, I've just been really impressed with him this season. Very dominant goalkeeper, good in the air, and great shot stopper as well. For me, really stand-up player for Chelsea now. Back three, you've got Ogbonna, so I've got him as he scored the winning goal for his team against Everton. So fantastic header, very difficult technique in the way he did it. Great goal from him. Soyuncu as well, part of the demolition against Manchester United, scored from a set piece. That's why I've got him in my lineup. Matip, so I think most people probably would have expected me to put Van Dijk in there, but I was very impressed with Matip in terms of how he performed. Very underrated player. For me, one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League, hands down. And he's showing it this season because, touch wood, he's fit right now, so he's not had any issues with injuries. And long may it continue, as he's a fantastic player. So I guess the neutrals will see that a bit more this season. And, Liverpool fans will have their opinions justified, as we've been banging on about it for a while, that he's a top player, but I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves. Onto my midfield, I've got Mane there. Breathtaking performance from him. Scored the opening goal. So that's why I've had to go with Mane in my lineup. Tielemans scored a fantastic goal and could have got another one as well, to be fair. Had a great performance against Manchester United there. And Ndombele, fantastic goal for him, lashing onto the ball against Newcastle. So that's why I've got him there. De Bruyne as well. Another great performance from him. Could have added Bernardo Silva here, but I've gone for De Bruyne. Really impressed with his overall performance. Front three, Harry Kane. I've added him to my team there. Goal and assist, and slowly getting back to his form, I guess. So that's why he's there. Firmino, hat-trick hero. You can't disregard anyone who scores a hat-trick in a game. So that's why I've got him there. And King Mo, you see the captain band there, but that's my way of saying he's the star player of the week. Fantastic goal again. Great assist. Loved that assist with the outside of his foot. Beautifully executed. And yeah, he was fantastic throughout. So yep, so that's my team of the week there. So also, before we conclude the show, I'd like to announce our FPL manager of the week. So I had a decent week. I had 63 points, which isn't too bad, but the manager of the week clearly had a better week than I did. They finished with 86 points, so that's Laith, Hena. So congrats to you. Fantastic week for you. One of our highest scoring. I don't think there was anyone that was that close to be fair. I think the second highest was around 74 points. So yeah, did really well there. It'll be an interesting week, as I feel like a lot of managers, I should say, will be dropping Ronaldo and Lukaku, I think, because they haven't been in goal scoring form. So if you've got any tips, share it to me on social media. I'd love to hear what you guys have, as I always like to try and improve on my team performance in FPO as well. So yeah, keep me posted if you've got any nice tips going on. But that wraps us for today. So thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all your support. Next episode will be this Thursday, so in a couple of days' time, 21st of October at 10 p.m., where I will be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Manchester United, which is always a firing encounter every season. And I may be joined by a special guest during the show. So keep your eyes peeled in terms of my social media handles. So you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, or you can follow me on Twitter at OzzieFTP. So that wraps us for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, stay blessed, and take care of yourself. See you soon.